lot of movement indeed. Then the one that came in as well, and finally the one that he wants to come in didn't quite, but testing over that was around the off stump, didn't touch a ball.
Having looked at that over, I think it really would test the patience of someone like Upul Tharanga. He's really haven't played at this level often enough, and at the level he's played, he's made plenty of runs. In fact, sparring at deliveries there, putting them away. So he really has to concentrate.
Well, this swing is really good to see. The hero of the Indian team, certainly the way he's been playing in the last few matches, he is. But really, it's terrific to see the new ball and the traditional swing. It's really gone out of fashion.
Absolutely. Even with the look for the second here, yes, they'll get it. As the fielder really had to cover quite a bit of ground, and that probably hurt. The ball skidding through on the surface of the pitches, the harder areas.
Return from Ajit Agarkar. He's got a very strong arm, but really that was no man's land, just landing short of Dhoni. Either the throw should be into the gloves or well short of the keeper. That was a real awkward one, and it hit him hard. Real tough one. Buys.
Dhoni getting a bit untidy, but I'm sure that earlier shot probably has brought about some discomfort, as you would see.
And also just didn't rise that one. It's always a very awkward take when it just lands in that no man's land in front of you. It's not even a half volley length. You got to pick it up on the rise. He's hurting already. Has he got his man? Yes, he has. The swing really working for Irfan Pathan. Never fails to make the initial breakthrough, and he's provided it again for the Indians. Upul Tharanga, a disappointed young man, walks back.
What a delivery. That really pitched around off stump and just curled away from Upul Tharanga. Upul Tharanga really should have probably gone forward, but really got squared up completely and just got the thinnest of edges. Easy catch for Dhoni, and you could see the Indians, they are jubilant. Exits Upul Tharanga in his debut for 2, Sri Lanka 14 for 1.
Gladrag's Mega Model and Manhunt Contest.
Watch the Gladrag's Mega Model and Manhunt 2005.
Gladrag's Mega Model and Manhunt Competition 2005.
Gladrag's Mega Model and Manhunt 2005. सिर्फ Sony Entertainment Television Asia पर.
Kumara Sangakkara walks into a difficult situation. He's been on the park for about a day and 3/4. Tired legs, lots of byes conceded as well, awkward bounces, and now he's got a bat, and he's got a bat well, along with his captain Marwan Atapattu. Both of them would be tired, would be playing for tea now, I gather. 10 minutes to go for tea. But Irfan Pathan, terrific, absolutely terrific with the swing. Good delivery, almost overbalancing Atapattu. But a dismissal for you, perfect swing, great seam position. Take a look. On the back foot, trying to get his bat out of the way, but then just that tickle and into Dhoni's hands.
Immaculate line, and the length too was really testing. It really caught him unawares, napping. In fact, he really didn't go forward or back, just squared up on his crease, and that really proved to be a disaster.
Really, this is after a long time that you see somebody like Irfan Pathan using the new ball with the traditional swing in the air and off the wicket as well. Not too many bowlers are doing that. They're hitting the deck and trying to get movement off the seam. As a result, that whenever you find a bowler who's moving the ball in the air, he's always causing problems. The batsmen are not too ready for this kind of bowling.
Absolutely, Arun, and I think contracts like this, you need to get movement in the air, particularly as you are not going to get too much off the seam.
And he never fails to provide the breakthrough. That's his strength. With the new ball, he gets you those early breakthroughs. 1 in Chennai, 3 and 1 there in Delhi, and now already the initial breakthrough. And I remember him getting these early breakthroughs in the one-dayers as well. 6 wickets so far. This is his 3rd match.
And again, I think Irfan Pathan probably has taken a cue from Chaminda Was. It's so important that on conditions such as this, you make maximum use of the new ball, as you're not going to really get too much help later on. And it's so important that every delivery is something that counts. So Ajit Agarkar just settling into a good rhythm now.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to keep bowling around that off stump. Just get into a rhythm, feel good about himself, and then actually think of all the movements that he possesses. The outswing, the in-swing, good seam position, but really not much movement. Got to impart that at the point of delivery. You've got to have that sort of backspin kind of a delivery. Only then will the ball swing in the air. If you press it too much into the ground, it's not going to swing. That's been well played. Again, a bit of a chase there for Gautam Gambhir it is. And 2 quite easily done. It's 16 for 1. Talk about concentration. These guys have got to be on the ball all the time to get the best photos that would go around the world. But he's on the phone at the same time. That requires some skill. I thought he was talking to the camera.
So Sangakkara quickly off the mark, but it certainly does put a great deal of pressure on Sangakkara. This has always been a concern, and he's really come to the crease sooner than he did expect. So he's got a lot of work to do, and he really hasn't been able to get any rest whatsoever. His concentration, his limbs, all that really needs to be kept going. And for Sri Lanka, it's so important. So Irfan Pathan, he certainly would be looking to have a go at Marwan Athapaththu with this new ball. Athapaththu has had a few problems with the ball coming into him.
Yes, we saw he was struggling initially when he comes into bat, Marwan, with the front foot movement to the pitch. We saw him lose his wicket in the one-dayers. But he's adjusted well. He's got some good scores behind him now, so he's feeling confident.
Yes, I think from Sri Lanka's point of view, it's so important that Mavanatapattu really has reverted back to his post at the top of the order, as he's someone who could really play the long haul, and it's so important that Sri Lanka needs someone like that.
That is 4. Comprehensive indeed. In the slot, didn't require too much foot movement, but it had to be put away, and that's just what he did.
A very fine shot by Mavanatapattu. That certainly would bring his confidence. Not that it really has in any way eroded, purely because he's made runs in the previous innings. But again, a better movement on the foot. But again, you would see getting back into that balance the second time.
Well bowled. Almost playing on, Marvin. It's not the easiest of balls to bowl. The in-swinger to the right-hander.
How often have you seen Mavanatapattu being bowled off the inside edge? And there you are, that almost went through. And this is really the area he needs to work on. Again, not much movement of that front foot closer to the delivery. This is the type of pitch where you could really get far forward. There's not much bounce, and he needs to try and get whatever movement particularly into him.
That was in the air, streaky, but 4. Probably where third slip would have been, but 4 runs for Marvin. Went after it, it was a little wide, got away with it.
He's got the width, and as long as you hit it really hard and get a fair amount of bat, you're always going to get runs, but there's no cover, particularly down at third man or behind on the offside. But again, not much movement of the feet, in fact nowhere near it. He probably would have on second thoughts felt that he should have left it, but he'll take the 4 runs.
End of the 5th over, it's 25 for 1.
Fun.
Bowling change. Right arm over.
$25 for 1 Sri Lanka. Upal Tharanga back in the pavilion. And Anil Kumble being brought on. Possibly the over before tea. They want to crowd the batsman, Sangakkara, who's played only 1 delivery. Anil Kumble will try and be very straight. He's got a new ball in his hand. It's just 5 overs old. And this is his 100th match, Anil Kumble. 478 wickets. Undoubtedly the best that India's produced. 35 wicket hauls, 8 times he's had 10 wickets in a match. Unbelievable, those figures. And man of the match in Delhi, 3 for 41 in Chennai, definitely in line of front runners for man of the series. Should he have a good outing in this one?
What a performer he's been for India. And Sangakkara facing this all-important over just before tea. Wicketkeeper Dhoni getting himself a wiser, as there's always the possibility that this hard ball might get some bounce off some of those rough patches outside Sangakkara's off stump.
Did he get some turn with this new ball? He's not happy with the footmarks either. He's sort of just got stuck there.
As we saw earlier on too, there you are, the bounce, as you could see. Earlier on too, there was Lassit Malinga who had problems with footmarks, particularly around that area.
Very circumspect will be Sangakkara. Possibly the last over before tea, so they would get that 20-minute respite, collect your thoughts, It's been a tiring day, or it's been a tiring 2 days for both Sangakkara and Attappattu. Mentally, I'm sure. He's getting the ball to turn, and that's an appeal. So his leg breaks are turning with the new ball, so that's not good news for Sri Lanka.
Again, also the bounce is something which the Sri Lankans will have to contend with at this stage. Pitched on line, but again, the turn may have taken it down leg side.
Certainly a good decision there. It's been turned for a single. Anil Kumble's got a new ball, literally a new ball. It's just 5 overs old. It's the protruding seam. They're trying to extend this period before tea, playing on the minds of both the batsmen. But in the Sehwag captaining in this game, in the absence of Rahul Dravid.
Yes, he's done a good job with the one-day squad with a rather depleted attack earlier on. So the one feels that qualities of leadership are certainly with him.
In the air, but just didn't make it. The ball holding up a bit. Attappattu's gotten away with it. He's got 4 runs, but perilously close to Ajit Agarkar. That would have been real disaster for Sri Lanka had he held it.
The pressure was on Attappattu. Attappattu was looking to try and break free. Just played it in the air, eluding the hands of that diving Ajit Agarkar. Very, very fortunate Attappattu. And this really would have been disastrous from Sri Lanka's point of view if it had gone to hand.
Should have put that away. He'd be a little disappointed. This could be tea. 6 overs gone and 30 for 1 Sri Lanka, and it is tea. So they trail by 368 Sri Lanka. Haven't had too much of a day so far. Couldn't quite wrap up the Indian innings, which flowered and reached 398. They didn't want to lose a wicket before tea, but they did. 30 for 1 at tea. Sri Lanka chasing 398.
The Sri Lankans came in at a rather awkward time to bat, just about 15-20 minutes. Never easy to try and keep wickets intact, and very unfortunately they lost the wicket of Upul Tharanga, that the Sri Lankans gone into tea at 30 for 1.
So that's the match summary so far. India 398, a splendid 104 by Lakshman, fabulous 82 by Pathan. Dhoni had got 49 earlier. 3 wickets apiece for Malinga, Muralitharan, Maharoof chipping in with 2 good wickets today. Sri Lanka in response, 30 for 1, the 1 wicket going to Pathan. The highlights of the post-lunch session, Irfan Pathan it was, who really played a terrific innings for India and got a few good hits, and then it was Ajit Agarkar who helped him along after Lakshman got out, and then that's how he departed, missing another 100, getting close to 100. LBW to Maharoof. Ajit Agarkar played a good innings as well, a few good shots there. This was an unbelievable shot played by Anil Kumble for 4, and then the good use of the feet, comprehensive hit for 6. Ajit Agarkar then was bowled by Malinga, one that, well, just hastened off the wicket, kept a little low. Runs kept coming to the frustration of the Indians, and finally Anil Kumble succumbing to Bandara, trying to hoist it over for another big hit, not quite managing it. The innings changed. India 398. Sri Lanka walked in to take guard. Upul Tharanga and Attappattu. Tharanga making his debut. Was greeted by some fine bowling. It didn't last long. Tharanga getting only 2, and the first breakthrough for Pathan. Then 2 boundaries, wonderful straight drive or off drive by Attappattu, followed up by chasing a wide one and getting away with it. So Sri Lanka 368 runs behind. We'll take a break and be back at 3 o'clock local time.
Pakistan's best.
Coached by the
Welcome back. We are in Mothera here in Ahmedabad for the last session on this second day of this third test match between India and Sri Lanka in the Videocon Cup Test Series. Those joining our telecast late, India won the toss and decided to bat yesterday, day one. They managed 398, that's a very good score. Sri Lanka in reply are 30 for 1 after 6 overs. The batsmen together, Marwan Atapattu on 19 and Sangakkara on 2. So the match stands at this time 398. Lakshman getting a very good 100. Pathan contributing significantly once again, 82 for him. Dhoni 49. Malinga and Muralidharan picking up 3 wickets each, and Maroof 2 today. And Irfan Pathan, the lone wicket taker. Taranga in his test match debut just getting 2. 368 behind Sri Lanka. Sangakkara will be on strike. 37 overs remaining today. Pathan will operate after tea. 3 slips in a gully. Good attacking field set by Virendra Sehwag, captaining India for the first time in this test match. It's going to be an important partnership between these two. Off the bat, inside edge. Gambhir in chase. Just a single. Good afternoon, Ranil.
Afternoon, Shiva. Sri Lanka losing 1 wicket in that short space of time before the tea break. And one of the problems that they have is an opening partnership, Shiva. They started with with Jayasuriya, and Atapattu. Sangakkara opened at some time during the one-dayers. Upul Taranga came in. Atapattu went down the order. Jayasuriya left out of the side for the test matches. Atapattu and Gunawardena. Gunawardena taken off in this match. Upul Taranga given the opportunity, and he's gone for a couple. Sri Lanka losing an early wicket, so certainly problems for them in that department, the opening batting partnership.
A bit of problems with the Indians as well. Gambhir not getting runs. Sehwag was not fit for the last test match in Delhi. He's getting off to starts, not converting them. Identical problem for both teams. Look for one. Tendulkar directed. Could that have been close? We'll soon find out.
The Indian fielders all thought it was going to be close. Tendulkar had time. He takes aim, and it's very close. He would have been gone definitely had that hit the stumps. Agonizingly close. So close, yet so far.
.125 test matches for Tendulkar. Beg your pardon, 126, and look at his reaction. Great opportunity for the run out. Played his first test match when he was 16 years old. He reacts like a 16-year-old again after 16 years of international cricket. What a cricketer. Oh, wide of Kumble. Once again, tricky, but picks up a boundary. It's been good bowling by Irfan Pathan in particular.
Pathan has done well bowling to the left-handers, got the ball to curve away from Upul Taranga earlier, and now here to Sangakkara, wasn't too far away from Kumble. And it isn't often we've seen in this test match, in this test series, 3 slips and a gully, but we have them because Irfan Pathan is getting the ball to go away, and go away quite appreciably from the left-hander. Sangakkara's got to watch it, he's got to play it closer to his body.
Good over for India, 36 for 1. Taranga, the man dismissed. Two very good players, Atapattu, most experienced, and the most elegant is Sangakkara. They've got to put together a good partnership. There's Jayawardena, there's Mubarak, Dilshan and Samravira haven't contributed enough. Kumble's mum and his brother Dinesh Kumble played major parts. They're here to witness him playing his 100th test match. Good timing. Once again, Tendulkar's commitment stands out.
Great save. And Anil Kumble says well done to his mate of a long time in the Indian side.
It's a much better delivery from Ajit Agarkar. Bowled plenty of no balls before tea. Had a problem with his run-up and rhythm.
He bowled 2 overs and then gave way to Kumble, who bowled the 1 over, the one before the tea break. Ambles in and then lets the ball go. And you can see it's hit the bat with some pace. Atapattu's bat just wobbling in his hands.
Talking about Anil Kumble playing his 100th test match. Only 2 of the members of the current Indian team have played 100 test matches or more. One is this man on your picture, and the other one 126 for Tendulkar. He's the second best after Kapil Dev, number of test caps. Kapil Dev 131.
Very big session for the Sri Lankans. They've still got 35 overs to go. Atapattu, Sangakkara, Jayawardena, the main players in the side. It's very important that they make runs for the Sri Lankans. It'll be after that Indian total of 398. First innings is so crucial.
It's also about occupation of the crease. It's going to be that much more difficult in the 4th innings with the kind of pitch that we have here in Ahmedabad. Already been a lot of wear and tear. We saw Anil Kumble bowl on over before tea. There was lots of turn for him, despite the fact there was a lot of shine on the ball. So I think they'll need to bat long. They'll have to get a huge total, get close to the Indian score, if not past it, in the first innings. Tense moments for spectators, and the 2 batsmen out in the middle. .36 for 1. Very nice stadium here at Ahmedabad. It's not full though. Sri Lanka 36 for 1. Change in field now, 2 slips and 2 gullies. Bit of movement in front of the side screen again. That's been one of the problems. We'll be quite used to it. Very proactive Virendra Sehwag as the captain.
This slip cordon has been placed at an angle first slip stands just behind the keeper. And then you can see them progressively coming forward. That's because the ball is not carrying that much. As you mentioned, Shiva, 2 slips, 2 gullies. And the point also fairly backward and not too deep, because Sangakkara also tends to push at that ball outside the off stump. And at times it goes in there.
Virendra Sehwag mentioned, I like the way he speaks, especially at toss and match presentation when he's captaining. One day match, he said, I thought I did a pretty good job. He's actually been very thinking here. I mean, he's straight away got the slips in the right position. The ball's not carrying, he's got them a step ahead. Also looked at the previous over, a streaky shot through that area. He's got 2 slips in it, 2 gullies. This one is fine. Agarkar, the man, cuts it off quite easily. It's somebody who bats so freely. I don't think that he puts a lot of thought into his batting. Certainly he's a thinking cricketer. As a captain, his presence is felt.
He'll have to do a lot of work on the field. Sri Lankans won't give it away in a hurry. Still not a pitch where it's impossible to bat on. They can certainly graft their way on this pitch. And no doubt Athapattu should lead the way.
Nicely timed. And he finds the gap as well. There was a point and man at extra cover. Open spaces. And he's a good player when he plays with the full face of the bat. Boundary to Athapattu, his 4th.
The captain would have enjoyed that. Just a little punch. Very high left elbow as he made contact, making certain that the bat was straight. He got it on the middle of the bat. Great effort from Kaif, but not good enough to stop it. "30 deliveries and 24 to Athapattu."
Boundary, getting back to the boundary, it was a great shot, but he's got to be careful the way in which he runs on the pitch. Marvin Athapattu. His top serve is very loose. Just keep an eye on where he runs. Right on the good length initially, then stays off. It's the area where Harbhajan will look at when he bowls. Solid in defence. 9 overs gone, 41 for 1.
Next up.
"41 for 1. Sri Lanka. Athapattu is on 24. Couple of streaky boundaries and some very good ones. Sangakkara hasn't had too much strike. He's up against Agarkar. 2 slips in a gully, and it's square point catching.
We've seen different fields being positioned for players through this series, looking at areas where the batsman tends to hit the ball in the air. And Sangakkara sometimes hits the ball in the air through gully, through point. And also yes, he will be looking to cover the line as much as possible when he plays defensively, like what he did in that last delivery, getting right behind it. He's got to be tight. He hasn't made a big one in this series. He's come in here with a lot of good batting form. He's got off to some good starts, 33 being his top score. I'm sure he must be determined today to make a big one.
Well, Sangakkara is the kind of batsman that dominates the bowling. Whereas the only other player I can think of in the Sri Lankan batting lineup is Mahela Jayawardene. Attappattu might get big runs, but he might not dominate the bowling. So you're looking at somebody like Sangakkara firing just under 48 the average. And look at best of 270. So he's got the ability to go on and on, play the big innings, and that's required now.
Yes, notice that Sangakkara in his newspaper column had mentioned that he should be due for a few. He felt that Jayawardene and Attappattu had played well, especially in the last test match, but lacked enough support from some of the other top order batsmen. And he's a very determined player. When he sets his mind, he's absolutely focused. And of course, one of the things that will be tested is how he's faring now, having to keep. He's been on the field for a long time. Can he keep the concentration going? Because sometimes when your body is tired, the mind also follows. You lose concentration. We saw him push at one in the second innings in the New Delhi Test match after he'd got on to 30 runs and then got himself out. Crucial dismissal that was.
Maiden from Agarkar, it's 41 for 1.
विक्रम की शादी होगी, पर उसके ही हाथों उसकी पत्नी की हत्या भी होगी। फिर भी वो विवाहित रहेगा, पर अद्भुत बात ये है कि उसकी दूसरी शादी नहीं होगी। कैसे होगा ये सब? देवी, सिर्फ सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन एशिया पर।
Sri Lanka 41 for 1. The Chennai Open will start, the tennis championship will start in the first week of January. And a lot of people think Steffi Graf is already here. Close enough. Wonder who they are supporting, India or Sri Lanka. Don't see any flags.
If it was Steffi, it would have been Germany or the United States. Nice day for watching cricket indeed. Nice warm afternoon. Not too warm, comfortable for the spectators, and we've seen some absorbing cricket.
Good contact. He's extremely good square of the wicket on the offside, and he's even better to watch. Very graceful. Marwan Attappattu picks up yet another boundary.
Everything in position for that drive through cover, the bat coming at the correct moment, just making contact, and Harbhajan Singh having no chance of stopping that. Look at the front leg going square, going close to the ball. Top shot.
A difficult shot, I mentioned, to play square of the wicket on the offside, because Pathan has great ability in swinging the ball back into the right-hander. Majority of the runs coming in boundaries for Athapattu. It's a good strike rate as well. And he needs to go on. Good effort. Fielding has been very good in the last couple of months. Harbhajan the man the previous occasion.
Marwan Athapattu making sure that he had control of that flick. Played it late, played it along the ground.
.45 for 1. .45 for 1, Sri Lanka after 11 overs. And good to see a lot of overseas visitors. This test match. It's been good cricket. Good fight between the bat and ball. It's not been an easy pitch to bat on. Batsmen have had to work very hard for the runs. Ajit Agarkar's got to come up with a good spell. He did so in Delhi in the second innings. Two slips in a gully. He's looking at the angle, bowling from right arm over, leaving the left-handed batsman, Ajit Agarkar. Been pretty watchful, Sangakkara, like you mentioned, has got to maintain that concentration level. It's been hard.
Yes, Agarkar settled down. He had a first over with 4 no balls. Very much more on the spot. Concentration's there. The focus is back.
We're talking about concentration, Ranil and myself. He had a bit of a problem with the side screen in Delhi, lost his concentration, and this is the way he was dismissed. Playing away from the body. It was a good partnership developing between Athapattu and Sangakkara, and this was the wicket Indians wanted, and Ajit Agarkar picked it up. Then the match turned on its head. India ran through the Sri Lankans, and that's what they're looking at again. Ajit Agarkar, similar angle. 2 slips in a gully this time. Slower delivery. So he's got to be watchful on what he plays at and what he leaves alone. Run it.
Yes, a momentary loss in concentration. You could see that from the picture, that he didn't move his feet. He just parred at it and got a snick. But he did concentrate a lot to get up to that point. But on this pitch, you just can't let your guard down. He's got to remember that. Yes, he was 33 on that occasion. 119 for 1. Correction, 109 for 1. 109 for 2. And then, of course, the rest is history. So here's a good over from Agarkar so far. 5 dot balls.
Looking for the single and will get it to retain strike. Sangakkara, it's 46 for 1. .46 for 1. Atapattu 28 going strong. Good to see some home support. 2 slips, 2 gullies. Could be tight. Doesn't hit the target, Harbhajan Singh, but they have been taking a couple of risks after tea.
Sangakkara was confident of the single. He called at once, no sooner he made contact. That's important when you take the quick singles. Just a little bit of hesitation. And for a moment, Sangakkara just pushing Irfan Pathan off the way. He would have made it. It's good to keep the strike rotating.
And it's important to keep the strike rotating. They have 2 different plans as a bowler to get the batsman out. So if you're allowed to bowl 6 balls in a row, it becomes much easier. I'd be inclined into bringing Anil Kumble early into the attack. Probably like to see 1 spinner and 1 fast bowler bowl in tandem. Maybe give Pathan a break, bring Kumble on.
A little chat between the captain and Kumble. Yes, and definitely could see that the movement in the air off the pitch for Irfan Pathan has reduced a lot in the last couple of overs. Again, another delivery which came straight in the air, bounced and went straight to Atapattu. He had plenty of time to get onto the back foot, watch it and just keep it away.
No breeze at all. We saw just a bit of gentle breeze before tea, and Pathan was swinging the ball a great deal. It's been very still after tea. I haven't seen the ball swing too much, but there was a bit of turn when Anil Kumble bowled a single over. When there is so much turn, especially with the hard balls, a lot of shine on it, I think you need to give it to your spinner, because as the ball gets a little older and softer, the batsman will have a little more time to read it off the pitch. Harbhajan Singh and Anil Kumble, one of them, have to be brought into the attack, in my opinion.
Yes, I'll certainly go with you, Shiva, on that. He's got to make use of the spinners from the outset, not let any other pairs settle down, not allow a partnership. That's the end of the over. 47 for 1.
Sri Lanka have made a decent start. Lost the wicket of Taranga pretty early. It's a good partnership building up, 33 between Atapattu and Sangakkara. Atapattu, the dominant partner. A lot of youngsters coming into cricket, which is good. Sidhu will be happy with that. Agarkar against Sangakkara. Must have been a nervous debut for Upul Taranga. Played well in a couple of one-day matches that we saw. Has a lot of promise, has a lot of talent. It was Pathan, a very good delivery that just got him out. He was trying to lead the ball, just getting a faint tickle. Good catch by Dhoni. He'll be disappointed, Upul Taranga, but I think he needs a lot more chances, a lot more opportunities. Very good delivery. Can't blame the batsman. Especially if you're an opening batsman with the new ball. There'll be times when they get a good delivery up first and get out.
Would have been nothing new actually for Taranga, because he's played against Pathan at under 19 level. They are both contemporaries. Both played in the last previous under 19 World Cup. So Taranga would have had that in his mind, that he's played this guy before.
So Ajit Agarkar has been pretty good after tea. Before tea he was overstepping, didn't get his rhythm, but after tea he's bowled 21 deliveries, just given a single away. So he's been tight. Look at the second spell, 3.3 overs, 2 maidens. Good indication he's getting his rhythm back.
No.
Again overstepping, just as I say that. Fifth no ball for Agarkar.
Sangakkara moves up to 11. He's faced 29 deliveries, had a boundary. You see Sachin Tendulkar often having a word with the bowler. And this time it's Agarkar who's just overstepped. He'll now bowl to Athapattu. Athapattu's on 28, 43 deliveries, continuing from where he left off in the last test match, showing a good touch.
He's bowling 3/4 length and trying to hit the deck. Not too much in it, Ajit Agarkar. Looking for movement off the seam. Should look to reverse the ball. It's too early in the innings, but once side of the ball is scuffed up, needs to bowl a fuller length, try and give the ball some time in the air for it to swing.
No.
Another no ball. Slower delivery this time. Also brings up the 50 for Sri Lanka.
Yes, just when it looked like he'd sorted his no-ball problem. Starts again. 2 in this over. The 4th delivery and the 6th delivery, which then means he's got to bowl 2 extra deliveries.
Just a little bit of rest, change of ends. Probably will do the trick for Ajit Agarkar. Sometimes as a bowler from one particular end, you're not that comfortable. Gets the outside edge, will run away to the fence. Boundary to end the over. 54 for 1 Sri Lanka. For Sri Lanka, 54 for 1. Good crowd in today, and they've been patriotic as well. And they're looking forward to some good cricket. They look forward to a good partnership between these two batsmen, Sangakkara and Athapattu. Pathan will continue from the far end. No signs of spin yet. But in the com box, it's going to be Arun Lal and Ranjit Fernando.
Thanks, Shiva. So these two are really digging their heels in, Sangakkara and Athapattu. They really need a big one up front, a big partnership. 40 of 69 so far. Athapattu getting his runs and boundaries, 6 boundaries for him in his 32. He's really in fine form. He's found it. It's just a matter of time. Great experience behind him. Get a run. Yuvraj, the fielder, getting a hand to it.
Both batsmen looking quite comfortable, but wearing off the Indian quicker bowlers initially would be the objective of both these batsmen. Sangakkara, he certainly has looked good, very good balance as you would see. The most important thing as far as he's concerned is to bat on and on. He certainly is now the key batsman in the Sri Lankan side together with Mahela Jayawardene.
A lot of experience behind the Sri Lankan captain, 35 years old, struggling a bit before coming into this test series. Take a look at that, 151 innings, 5,293 runs, 40 almost the average, 1600s, 6 double hundreds in that 1600s. So he really goes the distance once he gets in. He's the danger man in this kind of form. He had 2 good innings in Delhi. He really knows how to stay there. Great powers of concentration, patience, all the attributes of the mind coming into play. Very composed. He's a builder of innings. Really lost it there after getting those starts in Delhi. It's because they got him at those crucial times that India was able to wrap that game up.
Absolutely, I think that really was his problem. It was really a question of the mind rather than too many problems with his technique. All what he has done is to get back into the drawing board and sort out some of those problems he's really had. He seems to be very much in touch now. Again, I think the very fact that he's able to convert those 50s into the big scores has been what his success has come out of that.
See, almost through. Gentle inside edge, that's what saved him. It's 55 for 1. Well, there's an Athapattu and there's a Sangakkara. 2 Ks, 2 Ts. Talk us through that, Ranjit.
It's probably to try and keep in pace with the pronunciations, which these are really Sinhalese names. So the 2 Ks and the 2 Ts are certainly of importance.
Lots of doubles there. 2 Es for Samravira. Maruf 2 Os. It's not anything to do with the numerology, I hope. The whole team can't be floored by numerology.
I don't think it really has anything